Hey everyone, Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. Thanks for stopping by. It was an extremely busy week in our shop. We had about 70 total sales that would split almost equally between our two booth locations and then our online marketplaces. Kind of a weird week in that we did not really have many big sales to speak of, really only one sale that I would consider a large dollar amount. Everything else was small to medium sized sales. But the good thing is with the volume we did, that all adds up, and we're still on pace to have one of our top 3 months ever. So really excited about that. Also excited about the fact that I'm now in my 5 week countdown to going full time with the reselling. My last day at my current job will be September 3rd. So come September 4th, I'll wake up a full time reseller, and I can't wait for that to get here. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the sales we had this week. Let me get my screen shared. And we'll start out on eBay with this pink depression glass refrigerator dish from the Federal Glass Company. This was part of a really large lot of well over 100 pieces of vintage glassware that I got from somebody who came into the antique store in Clinton, Tennessee. That's Granny's Attic. And if you do have antique booths and you're not taking advantage of opportunities to work at the mall, if your mall offers that, you're missing a great opportunity for sourcing. I work almost every Saturday, and it's amazing how much stuff I've gotten with people coming in, either selling, single items or who might have whole houses of stuff that they're looking to get rid of some of all of their stuff. So if you do have booths, make sure you're taking advantage of the opportunity to be a working dealer. Kind of the theme for the week that we've already mentioned is I didn't have any really big sales. This was $17 plus the buyer paid shipping. When all said and done, though, as after I get through, all of this glassware that I bought, I'll probably only have 50 cents to a dollar in each piece. So, still a pretty decent sale. I did take a best offer for $17. And then the next piece also came from the glassware lot. This was a Poshmark sale, which, as I mentioned last week, we have not been selling on Poshmark very long. So this was our seventh sale, I believe. So I feel like we're starting to get some momentum there. So hopefully that will continue. Sold this piece for $13 plus the buyer paid shipping. I love the shipping model on Poshmark. As long as you stay under $5, it's very reasonable for the buyer. So, we'll continue to list on Poshmark, and I anticipate that business will continue to grow. Our next sale is a Macari sale, and we did sell something on 4 of the 6 online marketplaces that we list on. We sold on eBay, Poshmark, Macari, and Facebook Marketplace. Did not sell anything on Etsy this week, which is a little surprising since we're generally pretty busy there. Also didn't have any Depop sales, which is not surprising. Really have not been listing there very long. Still working on building some momentum on that platform. In any case, this was a nice little lacquerware box. I've had good success selling lacquerware in the past. It's usually the black lacquerware, like trays and things of that nature, that have the mother of pearl inlay. This was a pretty multicolored, hand painted box that was clearly marked that it came from India, cashmere. Uh, this one, it did take a little bit of time to sell, probably because it did have a little bit of damage. As you can see, it had a crack on the bottom. Ultimately, I sold this for $13. This one was with free shipping, so not a real big profit margin on that. But with what I paid for this at the thrift shop, still made some money, and it's on its way to its new home. Next on Facebook Marketplace, and this was one of my favorite items that I sold for the week. This was part of one of the Oliver Springs lots that I bought that I mentioned last week, where we had the opportunity to go look in 2 houses in Oliver Springs, Tennessee. This was a 1950s Wizard of Oz book. This thing sold almost immediately upon listing it. $18 with free shipping, but it did go medium mail, so only a couple of dollars for shipping there. As you can see, lots of great illustrations. The artwork was just really cool. And this was one of my most engaged with items that I listed this week. I mean, tons of likes on Instagram, tons of views, even in the short amount of time it was listed before it sold. A couple more eBay sales. Another book that we sold, books do really well for us. I believe I mentioned that last week as well. You can almost always find them really inexpensive at thrift shops, yard sales. I'll usually buy whole boxes of books. In anything from the 1950s and before has sold really well for me. This was an $18 with free medium L shipping. This was a book about a particular steam engine indicator. Not 100% sure what that is, but it was from a company called Crosby. The book was from 1916, I believe, and this sold relatively quick. And I like books too. Not only are they inexpensive to ship, very easy to package. Uh, the next eBay sale was this puzzle, and I found that any 1,000-piece puzzles sell really well. Um, 500 sell okay, but anything 1,000 or more will sell relatively quick and always sells. And you can pick these up pretty inexpensively at thrift shops, garage sales, places like that. They don't sell quite as quickly as they did when we were in the full blown COVID quarantine, but still, this sold relatively quick. And $16 buyer paid shipping. Oh, and I also on puzzles. I know some people sell puzzles that might have been opened. I stick to only sealed puzzles just because I don't want to have to be working puzzles, counting pieces, those types of things. Switch over to a couple of booth sales real quick. And this first one, and this would be what really my only big sale of the week. This picture sold for $90, and it's this creepy baby picture. I don't know what the person who bought this is going to do with it. I mean, I thought it was a pool painting, but still a really creepy baby that I do not know that I would want looking at me, hanging on my wall. Um, I do find that artwork sells really well at my Bearden location, which is where this sold. We have a lot of interior decorators from some of the wealthier parts of Knoxville that stop in there. So that would be where I have my art gallery of artwork. And you can always pick artwork up really inexpensive at auctions and thrift shops and yard sales. So if you do have an outlet for it, it can be a big seller. And then the last thing that I'll mention that sold this week are these side irons. I sold a couple of those at my antique booth in Clinton. I believe they sold for $24 each. Those were part of the original Oliver Springs house that we cleaned out. So, I mean, I would literally have hardly anything in those particular pieces. But this is another good example of, why it's a good idea to work at your antique booths if given the opportunity. Somebody came in, had purchased a couple of other side irons from other booths, and I happened to know I had some in my booth and said, hey, there's some others over here if you want to look at those. And they bought those in addition to the original ones they bought up there. I will mention I'm always real careful not to take sales away from anybody else, but if I can, sell some of my stuff in addition to things they've already purchased, and I'm always looking to do that. The last thing I'll mention before I get off here is I did just list this Buddy Holly 45 RPM record. It's a sample copy that was given to DJs back in 1958. And the main reason I'm mentioning this, I mean, surely if you like this kind of music, go out and bid on it if you'd like. I'm starting it at $15. But the main reason I mentioned this, I was just excited. I figured out how to link YouTube videos into my eBay listings. So that really opens up a whole new way of presenting items when I list them. But what I did is I took my USB turntable, actually took the audio, burned it off into a video, posted those as private listings on YouTube. And now you can click directly on here and, listen to the music as it plays. So you can hear all the crackles and pops and decide if you want to purchase it. We'll close that. And I believe that's it as far as stuff I had to talk about this week. If you like the video, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel, check out all my sites. You can go to www.franklinhillventures.com as seen on the sign behind me. And that has links to all my social media sites as well as the different online marketplaces that I sell on. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next week.